dear friends. Welcome back to our online classes of Education 3000. I am Noémie Paimal, and today we see a very important subject, and it's called post-trauma tools for children in a high-risk zone. For instance, can be refugee camps or very violent neighborhood or countries or place. So let's start. It's called post-trauma tools. We did those tools with refugee children at the border of Turkey and Lebanon and other places in South America. So today we will see the mechanism, neurological mechanism of the biotrauma and what to do for the post-trauma rehabilitation. This is a situation. This is a refugee camp in Zatar in Jordani. And there are extreme situations. This camp is about, maybe nowadays, 1 million persons are in this camp. But then, of course, the family, they have children and it grows. Like in Lebanon, where I was, it was 1 million refugees, and when I came back, it was 1.6 million a couple of years later. So it's growing, but the situation is always temporary because the government and people think, oh, they're going to go back to their country, or we want them to go back to their country. So it's all tent and very temporary installation, and it's not nice at all. So, and there are mostly children, like half of the population are children. There is also situation like violent zones or violent countries or violent neighborhood or situation of war, post-war in other countries, of course, Africa, South America. And so those tools are for everybody, for children, for the teachers, for the parents, even elders. You can do it. You do it a little bit slower. You do it a little bit slower in the routine. But it's a relief for everybody. Then we realized that in every school, it would be nice to have this kind of routine. It's good anyhow. Even to be born is a trauma. So it's not like we are exempt of trauma. This is what I want to say. And so it's good to know those tools. The definition first. A biotrauma is a very intense physical, psycho, emotional shock, or shocks, can be several, of course, caused by some negative fact or events that produces a lasting imprint in the subconsciousness of a person that he or she can't overcome alone, let's say, or naturally. It is sealed on a cellular level. This is why it's called biotrauma, bio from life. It is sealed on a cellular level by fear and by an emotional impression. It's called RUNA. We will see that later on, and it's located in the serum globulin. So it's hard to take out because it's sealed and because it's sometimes it's so deep in the consciousness that it requires of several tools to either take it away or block the access to the biotrauma, and or at least you still have the trauma, but it doesn't affect you emotionally. So it's like you stay neutral with that. So in any case, we always saw some improvement when we did the routine. This is where we did it. Remember I told you the border of Turkey, it was Santi Urfa, and the two centers were Ashkachale and Suruç. And that was with International Blue Crescent, very nice people. We did a very nice job actually over there. And the other center of intervention was in Lebanon at the border and in Beirut as well, thanks to Young Association. And after that, before we did that, we did some programs to prepare ourselves in Argentina, in Mexico, in Bolivia, and in Istanbul, Turkey, with the team. So what I want to share with you today is the neurology of the trauma, where the biotrauma is located, and what to do to remove it, or at least to make that it won't affect you. And you know what? This is a book actually in Turkey. We found this book. The country of Turkey do a lot for the refugees actually, but there is no much tool. I mean, of course, you can provide food and lodging, but the education and the post-trauma issues, we couldn't find actually any biography. So we had to compile what we knew, and we made a new routine with some tools we found around the way. So yeah, it took some months of preparation, and I want to thank the team. It was a very nice team. It was a team from Spain, from the US, from Mexico, from Italy, and Romania. Thank you, guys, if you see these videos, if you watch this video. So this is the brain. No, it's not the brain. It's a representation of the three brains. First, the reptilian brain. So survival issues has to be addressed. Then the emotional brain. So emotional issues have to be addressed. And then the two hemispheres of the brain, and then the lobal front. So we make some routine to attend of that. But before I go to the routine, I want to talk some more about the process, so we understand the why we do all this exercise after that. Let's say here, you can see the picture. Let's say you see a snake and you are very afraid and you jumped, and then you are completely traumatized because of the snake or snakes. So how does it work? First, the first impact will be the eyes. Usually it's at the eyes. 80% of the impact are through the eyes. That's why we do so much eyes movement and rapid eye movement. And there is many techniques using eyes movement, even yoga, because the fear will be in the muscle around the eye. It's called extraocular muscles. And then it will go where? It will go first to the thalamus. And if here is criteria, you either know, oh, it's not a poisonous snake. It won't do anything to me, so you know it, so you don't react because of knowledge. Or you don't know if it is a good one, a bad one, and you are very afraid, so you will go past the thalamus, and it will go where? To the amygdala. And then the whole process of fear will start. It will just go very fast. From the amygdala, it will go all the way to the body. That's why the fear in the body, in the skin, in the limbic system, it is kind of all over. I will show you the principle, the main spots later on. And then the image, remember 80% of the trauma goes by an image. Then it can be sound, like an explosion, for instance, or a bomb, or sometimes the smell, like blood, or the taste, and the feeling. The feeling is all over, it goes through the skin. So an image, for instance, will go back to the brain, and it will go to the part here in the brain. It's called visual cortex part, and it's number 16, 15, 18, something like that. So, and then it gets in print. Then you get an image in your brain, and that image sometimes is hard to get away. That's why we use colors to get it, to get rid of it. Then I will show you how later. And there is a big deal with, it's called runes or runa, not the runa from the north of Europe. It's a mental beliefs and patterns. This is from Victor Cairo Faber, Venezuela. And it works like that. Did you see the square? And there's a square, inside the square there is an imprint. And this is small or big traumas or whatever that happened to you or to your ancestors. So I will read you the definition. It's very important to understand. because it explains a lot. Sorry. Each square, the green square, is called a rune by this author, and it's made up of a substance called beta serum globulin. The figure that's inside the symbol, it's a seal, it's a symbol. It's imprinted by bioenergetic impulses. It's the serum globulin sent by the senses organs. And I told you, usually the sight, but it can be the 5 senses. When the evolving vehicle, which is us, the human being, is experimenting a situation for the first time. So it can be your ancestor was afraid of a tiger in a cave, then you're always afraid of tigers or spider or whatever, because of these runes or imprint. They are called runes because the word rune means seals, stamps, print, die, recording, symbol, brand, matrix, pattern, mold, or cast. And as I told you, it's a bioelectronic impression and it's on code. And it's called a mental world. So you can see here the 2 brains and all the runes and all the beliefs and fear and trauma. You can delete them, or you can delete the access to it. See, it's deleted. Oh, very good. Where is fear located? Calves. You know, when you're afraid, you want to flee away. So you contract the calves to run better and to go very fast. So that's why when you use post-trauma and we want the kids not to have fear, we do a good stretch of the calves. The calf, the part of the leg behind of the legs. Eyes muscles. It's the muscles, extraocular muscles. So we do movement with that too, because usually the shock is associated with the eyes and the side. The shoulder, this part. The pits of the stomach, like a little bit like here. Skin, all the skin, and the living system. A couple of words about tears. When there is a huge trauma or you lose somebody and you want to cry and people cry, it's very good at the beginning because crying will just relieve everything. And actually crying, it's called leucine and enkephalin. It will secrete this substance. It's an opioid, like opium, peptide, neurotransmitter that reduces pain and works to improve mood. So that's fine. But the idea is not to cry every day, because then you get used to it. You get addicted to it because you want this opioid peptide, you want this leucine and enkephalin. And then you go straight to the depression and sometimes to suicide because it's an habit. You want to cry all the time. Plus, when you cry, you get the attention of the person. So in emergency situation, cry a couple of days is okay and it's healthy. But cry all the time, no, it's not a solution. You know what's the solution? I much prefer laughter. To laugh. Actually, when we were doing the workshop in Middle East, at 5 o'clock, people were laughing so much. And I was so happy because I knew by laughing, they were processing all the trauma and all the incredible situations they had to go through. And I wouldn't prepare anything by 5 o'clock because I knew it was 1 hour of laughing all the time. And I knew it was part of healing process. Laughing will produce beta endorphin, and we know the endorphin, it's a pleasant neurotransmitter. It will produce welfare, well-being. L-dopamine, serotonins, oxytocins, that all the nice neurotransmitters. It will lower the level of cortisol, lower the stress. It will help with the homeostasis process, meaning the balance of all the bodies and hormones and so on, and release negative emotions. So if you have to choose love. or laughing. And then part of at the end of the trauma, we work on the frontal lobe reconstruction with motivation. Plus this frontal lobe, we saw that in the level 1, remember, is in charge of doing and in charge of purpose and in charge of projects. So it's good to finish with perspective of the future and then we can do it. Definitely. And this part of the brain is full of mirror neurons, and that gives empathy and helps with oneself and with others. So how do I develop my my frontal lobe? By laughing, collaboration, have something to do, co-construction of my life and the society. It helps with solidarity, humanitarian service, and life purpose. So the 4 locks. Remember, the fear will block everything. Then it will go to the thalamus, the belief, or other belief like, I can't go on. It's impossible to get out of this situation. I can't better my life. I'm not good. I can't go above this or beyond this. And then the image is printed here, and with the image we have the color. There is some authors that said the classification of the memory will go through colors. So if you can cancel this color, we cancel the access to this memory. Now we'll see how. It's not as we use a chromotherapy. So to unlock that, of course, the eyes you unlock with ocular movements plus the curves and all the little tools to relieve the fear. The belief you heal with intention and I can, for instance, tapping. 4 and 3, we heal with the opposite color and sound and with light. I will show you how real quick. So the video won't be too long. Catalyzer, love, laughter, and Fibonacci. It's power. Movement, a lot of movement. Example of exercise, the brain gym, we use that. We use a lot of movement, especially the psychomotrice healing games, or psychoneuromotrice healing games. Ocular movement, self-esteem, the exercise with the colors and the sphere, I will show you. Chromatic therapy with solar light, but that's for one-to-one session, not with everybody. Bilateralized sounds, always. Touch, the tapping, remember this technique? I will show you. Fibonacci, laughter. And I would like to remind you that children, when they play, they reprocess whatever trauma, whatever inconvenience they had. So let them play, please, and a lot. Playing and movement is a natural moment where they reprocess their trauma naturally. That's for the children. And this is the Fibonacci. We use that during post-trauma. I will show you how. This is the colors. So we use all the colors. This is, when you diffract the color through a prism, we use all of them. The way we use it, let's say a trauma is red. We ask for an image and somebody said, okay, I can see all red and this is this color associated to my trauma. So we work with the opposite color. The opposite of red will be green. See, here are the length waves. So we send the other one. Let's say I have red, right? So I will send green. I will show you how. So green and red, they will shock together, or they will just, one will go here, the other one will go here. And then I was thinking when 2 waves will meet, they will go to 0, but it's not true. When 2 waves, opposite waves meet, you have a stationary or standing waves, and that create resonance. This is in my drawing, if you can see, it's a big one, and it's stable, and it's called resilience. So actually, that's why the kids were responding so much, and they were so amazing with all the tools and the routines and the activities we are proposing, because they will reach this stationary wave very easily. And this is very good for the human being to have this kind of wave, because it's stable, it's big, and it helps others too. It works by resonance. Stationary or standing waves are created when we do this activity of counteract a wave we don't like by a good one. That makes sense? I hope so. So we work with the three kind of waves, mechanical waves, like, see, this is mechanic. You have something physical and it makes waves. We work and we do it with body movement. Electromagnetical waves, colors, and gravitational waves, it will be the geometry of time and space, and we do it with intention. And the sound will go to mechanical waves. So we use the three waves to make sure the trauma will go out. And about the sound, you have to know that when we send we use binaural sounds. When we send two sounds slightly different, one on the right, one on the left, for instance, the brain will subtract and we will reach between 8 and 10, 12 hertz, which is healing waves. Okay, I'll read it for you if my explanation is not enough. When receiving sounds slightly out of phase, the brain proceeds to subtract the two waves or hertz to receive the hertz, which produce a frequency of 12 hertz or less, which induce the subject to enter in alpha waves, theta waves, and or delta waves. For sure, alpha waves, and sometimes theta and delta waves according to the person. So what I want to say with that, with the colors and with the sound, it's not like healing with goodwill. It's really mathematical, and it's tricky. We use physical principles, and that's why it works always. Always we have some improvement. So this is, let's say you have 3 to 5 hertz on one side, 15 hertz on the other side. At the middle, you will have 10 hertz. And this is the kind of hertz we do want, right in the middle of the brain. This is all our brain waves. And there is one more, which is a gamma waves, but the gamma waves will be just a flash of insight that we can have to during the routine. So let's go to what to do. I would give a general overview. It's kind of long. The whole workshop will be 3 days, sometimes 5. But what I can assure, and I saw we always had good results. Like the kids, let's say they will start from 0, 1, or 2, or 3 points. We measure from 0 to 10. It's called subjective measurement indicators, subjective SMI. So we do by start phase and happy phase and middle phase. So they give at the beginning where they are, and then at the end we measure. So from 0, 1, 2, 3, they always go to 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Usually it's 7 and 8 with adult 2, which is quite good. And you can do the routine 3 times if you want. So we have 4 routines. One is the post-trauma routine, the main one, the one we are going to see today. And then we have another one for the mind-heart connection and thymus routine, which is more for the electromagnetic field of the heart. Then we have the grounding routine, and we have the frontal lobe routine. But today we see the first one. The main one is the most important. And we have 3 phases: the preparation, the healing, and the closing. And I really recommend to do everything. Don't stop at the middle. If we start the routine, make sure we have enough time to do all of it. It will last if you go fast. And with children, please, we go fast. Remember, they are fast. It will last 1 hour and 40 minutes up to 2 hours max. With adult a little bit, because sometimes they talk a little bit more. So 1, preparation. 2, healing. 3, closing. Preparation of the teacher, the welcoming, the warm-up, and the neuropsychomotor movements. Preparation of the teacher, we always have the teacher to be ready, to be full of energy, to be in a good mood. So we had some exercise for them. And this, she is a volunteer from Romania, and she helps a lot. Thank you, Yonia. And she was preparing with ice cream. She was very serious about preparing herself. Then we receive the children one by one. Sometimes we have a lot of children, so like 40, 50. So we just look at the eyes real fast and slap 5, one by one. So we recognize their inner self. And then we are in circle. I give my name, Yuna's name. What is your name? It has to go fast. Plus, at the beginning, they are a little bit afraid. They think we are going to give them, I don't know, some medicine. I don't know. So we go pretty fast and we say, do you want to do something for your heart to feel good? Do you want to do some exercise? And they say, yes. I say, what? Yes. When they say yes, it's very important in all healing process. The person has to say yes, because that is like an order to the body, to the DNA, to the cells to get better. And the same for everything. Never do some session if people are forced to come in. So it's called to get the yes. And then we warm up and we go very fast, like run, or, when you catch yourself, any kind of non-competitive games are okay, until they sweat a little bit. So when they sweat a little bit, we know, yes, they are full of enols, serotoninas, endorphinas, dopamina, especially endorphinas. So the level of energy is very high. That means we never have a crisis, because of this level of neurotransmitters they have in the body. And we start the movement, which is called, they are special movement. Sometimes they are used in special education too, but we use them for that. It's called neuropsychomotor movements and instinctive movements. The first one is to roll. The other one is somersault. The other one is to wheel around. Then we do the creeping movement, like a little worm on the belly first and then on the back. So it's all these movements, especially the rolling and the creeping, is to activate the skin and the limbic system. To crawl, to grip. So to grip, we take like a stick like that. The kids, they take this stick, let's say, and then they go on their back and we drag them. So they do this movement, and what we want them to do is to do the grip, to have this stick very strongly in their arm. And then they work as well on the glands here. And it's fun, they love it. It's called the grip movement. And then the shaking. Shaking is to shake. So we shake, it's from Dr. Bursley, actually. So we shake 1 minute standing up and 1 minute on the floor, if the floor is not too dirty. But usually we have access to mats and stuff like that. So here they are rolling. They love it. I had to stop them because they were going so fast. They love the rolling. And you do several times. As if you can roll like 20 meters, it's even better. Then they do the crawl. They were playing at the horse, but it was a friendly horse. You have to say, hey, and they say hi to the other one. If not, they were starting a fight, actually. But it was very nice. And then when they do all that, they have, we do instinctive movement, which is more like the cave, the Tarzan, the monkey, or ancestral movement, like go to a tribe and do some tribal dance and go hunting. So this is for the very, very deep ancestral pattern. They're removed that way. Not removed, but they are harmonized. This is the word. So when we do all that, that's it. The body is really, really, really ready, and we go straight to the healing routine, which is fair liberation, colors, sound, and tapping. So at that point, we have a short break, drink water, at least 1 or 2 glasses of water, and have something smell. So good, something's good to smell. So we put here sometimes we just put oil with a nice smell, essence of something, or we can put citrus like lemon or mandarin or orange, something to smell. Or if we had a essence of chocolate or coconut or something they really like. They like the coconut one and the chocolate one, but it's to smell, not to eat. And then they smell like this. And then it feels good for the reptilian brain. So the reptilian brain will say there is no danger, and they go smoothly to the next phase of the routine. We start after that, after the water and the smell, with a brain gym, which is called PACE. So remember, we had water, we do the buttons, we do the crossing, we do the hook, and we do this with it's called the fingers concentration. And then with the fear, we go like this with the shoulder. This is a good spot to work with. We do massage of the stomach. Remember, the fear is at the pit of the stomach. It's located here. The calves, we just stretch the calves and do the eyes movement. On one side, on the other side, up, down, and circles. So we make sure they don't move the head. You can do like that, so they don't move the head, and then you go right and left, they move like this. Or one person help here, and the other person will do the movement, and they follow. And they do it themselves. I mean, we pair them up 3 by 3. Here they're doing the brain gym, they are doing the hook like this. See, we always have some mats for the floor, so that we could do the routine on the floor too. This is the route. And then they are ready to measure. So to measure, we ask very fast to bring the worst image, something they really don't like, and how do you feel from 0 to 10? So they give the number. If they are small, they give the face. Sad face or happy face or middle face, and we put it on the thermometer. So we know where they are, and at the end we measure again. So we know the impact of the routine. For the colors, we have colors. I mean, there's 7 colors actually, and we do the sphere like that. I mean, I don't know if you can see. We extend the arms and we take the color like that. We turn around and we look at the sphere, and we would say red, 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 red in the front and red inside. The manual is in the website, so you can have all the details. And then we do bong. Bong is we get up and we go bong. Let's say, I want to show you. You go up your feet, you can see my feet. You go up your feet and then bong. And that's where the energy will go inside. This is for the colors. And then we go through all the colors. We start with red. So we have red balls. If you don't have balls, usually we don't, just a piece of paper with the red color, and they have it in their hand. It can be crepe color or crepe paper. I mean, if not, we find anything with this color. It's easy. Then we do orange, we do yellow, we do green, blue, violet, and white. So remember, we just turn like that. It's called the sphere by Dr. Beltramino. And this is why, because by seeing the colors and then we put the colors inside, like, let's say this is a color. Let's say I have blue. So I have the blue, 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 and we put like this on the front, on this part, forehead. Okay, so the color is because we blocked the trauma by the colors, by the opposite colors. When we have many children, we don't know which color they need, so we do them all. Then we do the sound. So we have one child here and the other child here, and we sing. If we have a lot of children, one group, half of them are in the middle and the other half are around. And the circle around, the outside circle will sing for the one inside. The children inside the circle close their eyes and they wait for the sound of the other children and us. The adult too, we are around. Usually we sing do re mi, then we sing do re mi fa sol la si do, then we sing z, different sound, and at the end a lullaby, a song they really like. We asked them before. Here they are listening to the sound, beautiful. Here too. See, you can see the outside circle and the children in the middle. I mean, they are more than children here, they are young adults. Here, the circle in the center, they were listening and they were hitting so fast. So we use color therapy and sound therapy, basically. Remember we saw that? So they have 10 hertz inside the brain, which is a hitting frequency. And then, yeah, we finish that and we proceed to the tapping. Tapping is a real tapping like that. It's a deprogramming and reprogramming. We have a sentence and we put the sentence on the wall, and the sentence more or less will say, oh, you have to do the sentence in your native language, of course. For instance, it would be, I fully accept, one example, I fully accept and love myself and can move forward with confidence, peace, and love for myself and others. And at the same time, you say the affirmation. This is from Dr. Kayahan. It's called tapping. You can have a lot of classes on internet and or class directly. First, it's deprogramming and then reprogramming. With the children, we do only one session. The reprogramming at the same time. The first one is I fully accept and love myself, and then I can move forward. So, because it's faster. And it works. So the first one would be here. So you say, I fully accept and love myself. I can move forward with confidence, peace, and love for myself and others. And then we do the tapping here. This is the first one, then here, 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 and then here. And then we do it 1, 2, or 3 times. And then at the end you do, it's called gamma series. So you open your eyes, then turn your eyes again, close your eyes, sing, count, and close your eyes again and move your eyes inside. But this is all documented. You can have an exercise called tapping. Then we measure again. So it's very important to know they all go up. So say, can you see the image? Now I can see it. How do you feel? Or I can see it, but it doesn't bother me. Or it's another image. It depends. And then how do you feel with that? And then they give you the number. And usually it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The scale is from 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. Then we share a little bit. Usually they like to share at that point, at least something. And then we go to the closing. And the closing will have one part is self-esteem. It's movement and games. It's I am, for instance, oh, you are beautiful, and you answer, yes, I am beautiful. It's all positive statement, but you say I am. Or then the other person will say you are, let's say, you are gorgeous, and you answer I am gorgeous with this movement. Remember, this part is important. Then I can, so you run and you say I can do that, and then you touch your friend in the back or here and you say you can. And I have is to run and decree. I have friends, I have peace, I have something with a piece of clothes or something. You run like that, you have something, and you run, saying the affirmation. And it's good because they run again, so they activate again the body. And you do bioconsolidation. One is about strength, the other one is about the heart, the other one is a bubble, and the other one is a Fibonacci spiral. You go in the air, like the one I have here. You go near 3 times, or you can have on the floor and you walk on it. So this is the kids doing the bioconsolidation here. They were doing the heart, and then they send the heart to their country, to their family, to the school, to the country that received them. This was a 1-to-1 session. It was Lebanon. This is Fibonacci. You can print it or have it on the wall. And then some celebration at the end, which can be shouting together, a little dance, something. It depends. Sometimes people are tired, they want to do short, and sometimes they are not tired, they want to do 1 hour celebration. It depends. Here we are doing the little heart. They are curd teachers, It was from the north of Syria. They were in the south of Turkey when I met them. Very nice, very, very, very nice teachers. Here they are Kurd as well. They were doing the heart, and here too. And as I told you, we don't have that much bibliography. We suggest to do the 7 petal as a follow-up, and we have the manual in the website. I want to thank particularly Dr. Ricardo Beltramino, because he gave us the sound therapy, the color therapy, and all the tools to make sure it will fit in the body. The healing will fit in the body, and the trauma will go away. Roger Kayahan, which is a tapping, Paul Denison, which is a bridging, David Bersley, which is a shaking, and the Association of Synergetic Doctors, because they have very nice tools for follow-up. For instance, they have a program called Mano, which is hands. So we can do many tools with the hand, and it's it helps with raising energy and with balancing energy. Thank you very much. I did my best to show you. It's a long. It should take 2 hours and have videos, but at least you have the idea. It's not something theoretical. We can really handle this kind of situation with movement and mixing games, movement, and tools and healing tools quite easily with children, and the results are fast and fabulous. So please take care, and I see you next video. Bye-bye. Take care. You want to see the next video? I can tell you if you want to know. It's called the Ace Petal, very important. Ciao.